theme music for the podcast. We don't actually have any theme music, so someone will probably make one up for us. I don't want to name any. Rachel, I hope it's Rachel that does that for the podcast.
Yay! Welcome back, everybody. We're back in the tiny room.
One day, I'm not doing the bit. I'm not doing it. I'm not. He wants me to do a voice to go with the tiny room.
We're back in the tiny room.
It's tiny room.
Yeah,
It's tiny room.
One of the abiding rules of Michael and Benjamin's podcast is no Rick and Morty voices.
No Rick and Morty voices, which I don't always keep.
It's a hard thing to do.
I quite often swap into Rick and Morty.
Because let's be honest, if you're into the stuff we're into and you're not watching Rick and Morty,
well, you can just stop listening.
Yeah.
We appreciate your patronage. However,
do we have a
no
Patreon
longer?
account?
No, let's not go there. Let's not go there. We're working adults. We're fine.
Yeah, we're
fine.
We don't need your money.
But if you'd like to send us money, brown envelopes are fine.
Yeah, mysterious benefactors
Also fine.
is what we'd like. Ben, surprising news. We've had a tweet.
A tweet, eh?
We've had a tweet.
Why, Michael? Tweets are becoming a regular occurrence on this podcast.
Almost as if it's the way we lead into discussions.
But why would we do such a
No,
thing?
we would hardly make
Because
them up.
we're very popular.
Yeah.
Get lots of contact from the outside world.
Well, we kind of do sometimes. Anyway, this tweet, which is definitely real, is from a person called Totally Real Mike.
Oh!
Friend of the podcast.
Friend of the podcast, Totally Real Mike.
And Totally Real Mike says, "What's up, you guys?"
Because Totally Real Mike is from Canada.
He's from Canada, I believe it's
Canada.
pronounced. And he says, have you guys even seen Wonder Woman yet, you big hosers?
See, this is a gambit to test Ben, host number 2 of the podcast. Well, suck it, Totally Real Mike. I have actually seen Wonder Woman.
Ben has seen a movie.
I've seen a movie. Yeah. So I saw the movie with my future wife, who is married. No, not with my future wife.
You went to see it?
Sorry, which stars my future wife.
Oh.
Gal Gadot.
Cal?
Cal
Gadot?
Is it Gadot?
It might be. I genuinely
She's from Israel. If any Israeli listeners, Totally Real Israeli, want to tweet into the podcast.
Totally Real Ishmael.
Is that
I don't know. Is that racist? Oh, no.
Probably not. Anyway.
What did you think of Wonder Woman?
I thought Wonder Woman was swell.
Yeah.
I thought it was really, quite a strong superhero movie.
So, by last week's metric, that would make you a simpleton.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it's not going to save the genre.
Well, the genre doesn't need saving, does it?
Some parts of the genre need saving. The DC part of the genre needs saving.
That's the problem.
Low as I am to admit that. But yeah, Wonder Woman was great. Patty Hines, great director. Is it Patty Hines?
Don't think so.
Oh, what's her name?
Oh no.
Yeah. Anyway,
Peter Capaldi.
Peter Capaldi. We remembered Peter Capaldi. Doctor Who.
I've forgotten her name.
That is a segment for next week's Ben Retractions. We're just setting it up so we can fill space next week.
Yeah, I genuinely can't remember the name.
Anyway, thought it was a really great movie. Very well made. Has a really strong storyline, especially through the middle section. Not sure about the start.
Or the end.
Or the end. You see it coming. You see it coming,
yeah,
barely. If you've read as many comics as we.
Well, look, I think were we 2.5 weeks since the movie came out? And by the time this podcast comes out, nearly 3 weeks.
It'll be nearly 3.
So we're past the spoilers limit.
No, we absolutely are not. The statute of spoilers is still firmly in place.
No,
however,
it's not.
we
It's
here
spoilers.
at Michael and Benjamin's podcast don't give a fuck. So, look, it's not the person you think it is. There's a god hiding on Earth.
What a pointless twist.
You can see why. It's a very simple story, told very simply.
Broadly.
Look, you're hitting the key point. Look, the story's not amazing. You're not going to be
Captain America, the first Avenger.
M. Night Shyamalan anytime soon.
That's not how you pronounce his name.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan.
That's not how you pronounce it.
Shyamalan.
Well, you're not going to be M-Nighted anytime soon. I'm going to stick with that one. It's simpler. But no, I thought in terms of characterization, I thought like the small beats were done very, very well.
What was the best bit?
I would say probably the best bit is right towards the end of that film where Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman part ways. I thought that was a really interesting subversion of how that would work. I take it because Warner Brothers was like, no, she has to sleep with Batman or Superman in the next one. So
Or both.
Boom.
Porn parody.
You're welcome, Warner Brothers. But yeah, so I kind of assumed that was what was being done there. But I thought Chris Pine as Steve Trevor was great.
He was pretty solid, wasn't he?
You know what I found out about the movie, which I really enjoyed? You know that very witty scene where the two of them are leaving Themyscira on the boat?
And he doesn't know how to sail.
And he doesn't know how to sail. But you know that whole chat they have about men and women and sexuality and stuff like that?
Uh-huh.
Completely improvised.
No.
Between the pair of them.
Stop the lights.
All the way down to Gal Gadot. Gadot's wonderful line about men are essential to procreation, pleasure.
Oh, really?
Not so much, yeah. No.
And the whole thing about not wanting to sleep beside her and stuff, that was all...
Apparently, all tinkered about. Natural chemistry.
Good. That's pretty good.
I was very
That's good banter.
impressed. That was excellent banter.
They should have a podcast.
They should. If they'd like to join our podcast,
yes,
I would not disagree. That would
4 people in the tiny room.
Yeah, that would. You know. I realized earlier that I said Gal Gadot was going to be my future wife, and it's a shame because I think every single man that saw that movie kind of went, yeah.
I found your pen.
No, there's my pen. My pen.
We couldn't find Ben's pen last week.
It's here.
We have it. It's back.
It's orange and metallic.
Yeah, it's
and
back.
says something that we're not going to say.
Yeah, it's
on
back.
the podcast.
Okay, look, can I tell you my favourite bit?
You can, absolutely. I'd love to hear it.
My favourite bit was actually my favourite bit. I'm leading into a bit of a rant here.
Oh, are we?
No, well, it's not a rant. It's just a train of thought.
Buckle up, listeners.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Don't worry. There's nothing serious. So the best bit of the whole film was the crossing the no man's land.
Yeah, that was
obviously
epic.
Right. It was great when she just went, fuck this.
Sure.
Fucking,
haven't I only been training for my entire existence?
Yeah, why are we not helping these people? Come on, we're going to help them. And then she can't do it on her own.
I know she needs a little bit of help
from men. Anyway, and then she goes across and she crosses no man's land and they go into the town and she jumps into that room and she's there in the costume with the sword and the shield. I pronounce either of those words.
With the sword and the shield.
The sword and the shield. I'm from the West. So she's there with the sword and the shield and that's the moment when her theme music kicks in.
I can't. That wasn't.
Ben is musically deaf.
Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. That theme music.
I have the theme music. I'll play the theme music for you. I'll play the theme music for you. Hold on. Here we go. That's probably enough. So Warner Brothers don't go after us.
Sorry, lads. It's quite metal.
Yeah, it's an electric cello, apparently.
Electric cello?
Apparently.
There was me thinking it was an electric guitar.
No,
what a buffoon.
It is a bit metal, isn't it?
It is a bit metal.
Right? Okay, first of all, before we go elsewhere, great theme music. That theme music probably... it's a combination of great music. It's really... empowering,
unshirkingly badass.
Yeah, it's just like, yes, come on, let's get started.
Yeah,
I'm not ashamed to admit that when that started playing and she was beating those Germans, not Nazis,
because it's World War I.
She was beating up those Germans, just banging guys left, right, and centre. I was waving my arms around like a lunatic. Literally like a lunatic.
Wonder Woman.
Just arms swinging around like a loon.
Yeah.
People in the cinema going, oh. He's excited.
Settle down there, buddy.
Settle down. And that music was also probably the best single, most thrilling moment of, Batman vs Superman. Maybe Batman's fight in the warehouse is better. But when Doomsday tries to hit Batman with his eyeball lasers, and she jumps down and stops him,
does a little bit of,
but we don't see her doing it. We only see like the eyeball lasers dissipate, and she's standing there, and then it goes, and it's like, oh yes, that's brilliant, right? So very strong music, very uplifting, very ready for action. Like it's powerful. It
also
music.
dodges the trap of kind of classically orchestrated music for a war film, which is generally what's kind of
true
done with war films.
Did you notice though that it was almost an hour in before they played it?
Oh, but the whole movie, yeah, I really enjoyed it, but tell me what you think of it.
Well,
I thought it was excellent.
Because the whole point for me was that was the moment when she became a superhero.
Yes, it is the part where she realises that she can't sit back and do that. She's also never called Wonder Woman in the
That's true. But
film.
That's a pretty common thing these days.
Yeah, I guess for Wonder Woman it is a pretty common thing.
I don't think Black Widow was even called Black Widow until Winter Soldier.
She's just called the Widow, isn't she? Or something
I think she's just called Romanoff. And they finally call her Widow in Winter Soldier, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty common to not call them by their superhero names.
Okay.
Anyway, so Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Wonder Woman is kind of the only DC movie that's on a level with the Marvel movies.
Absolutely, it's right up there.
And I think Marvel realised this because have you seen the trailer for Thor Ragnarok?
I have.
You have.
Several times.
Yeah. So, right, bear with me here. Oh, sorry, hold on. Sorry.
God damn.
Sorry, I skipped something.
What?
Here we go.
Nice.
Right? I was about to say for the people who can't see, everyone, because this is
an audio format.
It's an audio. Ben just made exactly the same faces for both of those pieces of music. Awesome. Right? Those two pieces of music are so similar. They're not the same. I'm not trying to imply...
But thematically speaking...
Yeah. And
they share a true note.
Yeah, and I'm no music guy. As you know, I hate music.
You do.
I famously hate music.
Famously.
But they both have that kind of quality of...
Yeah, it's a rising kind of...
It goes up and up and up, and then drops down. And then you're like, yes, we're ready now! Right, so that's Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, that is the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin.
Song, 1970, Led Zeppelin. I don't think it's a coincidence that when Wonder Woman was building steam, and one of the best things about Wonder Woman was her theme, that Marvel decided to use that in a trailer for Thor
because they saw it's quite an effective move, really.
Yeah, that's pretty. They said that's pretty good. That music. Let's get the original. There's no way the Wonder Woman theme wasn't inspired by that song.
Absolutely. I think. Do you know what I think? One of the best things though is for the thing is I remember watching a video a while back on how a lot of Marvel movies don't have significant scores to go with the stuff that they do. It is a really really good video.
Let's link that in the
we will definitely link that below in the description.
Every frame a painting.
It's every frame a painting. I love his stuff by a guy called Tony Zhao. Very talented video essayist. But he did like kind of a mini investigation into how there's no tonal recognition to the music that Marvel puts out. It's accompaniment, but it has no defining characteristics. And I think with Wonder Woman, oddly enough, anytime you hear that, you think Wonder Woman. That's now Wonder Woman. It's completely synced with her.
Yeah.
Well, in my mind, and I would assume for other people as well. Yeah. When they hear that, they go, "Oh,
there's the Wonder Woman song." But anyway, so having heard the Immigrant Song in Thor a few weeks ago, actually, a few months ago now at this stage, I actually did a bit of research on it, but then forgot to make a video. But so I looked at other incidents of the Immigrant Song in pop culture, right?
Because that's what we do here.
Yeah, exactly. And I found this, and there's this. First of all, if this doesn't raise the hairs on the back of your neck, there's something wrong with you. Okay. Even though it's from Shrek.
I'm really afraid now that this won't raise the hair on the back of my neck and I'll be branded a freak.
No, it will. Don't worry. Okay. I've seen your face for the other two.
Oh, cool.
So Shrek 3, aka the worst one.
The worst of the Shreks.
They're trying to commando all the fairy tale princesses, which kind of ties us back to last week, are trying to break into a castle.
Nice. And
the castle is being patrolled by two Ents.
Oh, three people.
No, two people.
33 here at the Irish Podcast for Irish Pop Culture.
Oh my God! So anyway, Snow White is tasked with getting the three people out of the way.
Good.
And this is what she does.
Okay.
Right? So for the listeners, we're going to see Snow White coming up, approaching the tree people, and then she summons a horde of woodland animals.
By doing what, Michael?
By doing this, I've already kind of spoiled this.
Yeah, it's alright. It's alright.
Here, look, let's have a listen.
I'll act surprised.
Act surprised, let's have a listen.
Nice.
I'll just give you a second to brush down your neck hairs.
I don't know if I can hear that.
You look like a porcupine. So, like that, I reckon, personally speaking, someone, probably subconsciously, Hans Zimmer?
Hans Zimmer. It could be him.
Junkie XL?
Junkie, he does a lot of stuff like that. He did Deadpool as well, didn't he? Isn't that Junkie XL?
I think so. Don't want to commit to that.
Yeah, okay. Ben's retractions. See you next week. See you next week.
No, you don't have to do a retraction if it's something that you don't know.
Oh, so we did a mic this time.
Yeah,
maybe it's the same guy.
Exactly. So I reckon one of them saw that movie years ago, and subconsciously that kind of badass woman thing
scene
stuck in his head,
stitched in.
So anyway, my whole point. Anyway, that's why I think the Wonder Woman thing and the Thor thing, that's where I think they're connected. But now, I think it's interesting that since Wonder Woman is sweeping the boards...
And that movie's clean enough.
Well, it's actually not.
Oh, isn't it?
Funnily enough.
I thought it did a really good job.
It's on track. It did, but it's on... We need to do another podcast sometime about this whole idea of domestic gross and international gross, because that really gets on my tits. Really gets my goat. It gets my back up.
Gets on mixed tits. Segment next week. What's on mixed tits?
What's on mixed tits? T-shirt. Right? What was it saying?
I don't know.
What was annoying me?
I don't know.
Oh, the domestic thing. Apparently only 200 million. It's on track for 200 million domestic. So American.
Yeah, American.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2, meanwhile, is at 360 million. So it's a hit. It's a hit, but it's not a smash hit. Patty Jenkins.
Patty Jenkins, that's the... You're right. Patty Hines.
I don't know. I wish I'd screamed it like Pity Capaldi last week.
Patty Jenkins!
Patty Jenkins!
Patty Jenkins.
So, right. I think Marvel have noticed, obviously, that Wonder Woman is sweeping the board. And I don't think it's a coincidence that we've got this badass Black Panther trailer coming into Wonder Woman's second week.
I'll also be paying attention to Captain Marvel trailer when it drops.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get that shortly too. But again, I know we're playing the progressive game, but Wonder Woman comes out, biggest ever female directed movie.
Yeah.
First kind of major modern female led action movie.
It is.
Right.
Last 10 years easy.
Yeah, I mean, what did we have before? Elektra, Bag of Shite.
Salt with Angelina Jolie, which
that
was
barely counts.
Yeah, it's not really.
Barbed Wire.
Pam Man.
Formative.
I actually dodged that particular formative bullet. Okay.
So yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence that after the success of the first female-led superhero movie, we're getting a really ridiculously cool trailer for the first African
so cool
superhero.
Yeah, so cool.
Oh, it's spectacular. It's one of the best trailers I've ever seen. It's up there with Ragnarok, actually.
Yeah, like the Black Panther trailer is, to use the vernacular of the youth, lit as fuck. It's amazing. Holy crap.
What was good? What was bad? What was
that
what was
whole
indifferent?
You know what I love? Normally I hate when they put a scene in a trailer, a long extended scene. I like snapshot trailers where you build your tension, you get little glimpses of the film. But Andy Serkis, Martin Freeman in a room, have a little tete-a-tete.
Bilbo and Gollum.
Oh my god! I didn't even. Oh, mind blown. I like it even more. But Andy Serkis, first of all, sold.
Yeah, and he pronounces Wakanda the same way I do, which is Wakanda, not Wakanda.
I say Wakanda, so now I'm going to change that.
Yeah, change it to what Andy Serkis says. But I don't know if the other cast members of not the Lion King, what's it called, Black Panther, are going to do it the same way.
Mick just sees African narrative. Big cat.
It's about a big cat whose father dies and he's forced to become king.
Oh, come on, it is the Lion King.
It is the Lion King.
The Lion King.
Andy Serkis is Scar.
Yeah, he's actually Claw, so it's pretty close.
Yeah, see?
4 letters.
See?
Claws give scars.
Mm-hmm.
It's all tied together.
Coincidence? I think not.
I think so. No, what I thought was absolutely amazing. First of all, that little chat, building up the mythology of Wakanda, was amazing. It was a really nice introduction. You kind of understand exactly the space that inhabits within the Marvel universe, exactly what it is. It's this utopian, close to a utopian society. But then that song comes on. Legend Has It by Run the Jewels, and it is just I got so pumped. I was just like,
you were like an overinflated gym ball.
I was so pumped without bursting, thankfully. But yeah, just the whole beat, the way it follows the song, it just gets into it. It's just a great thing.
It's a great track.
I love the look that they're keeping a lot of the tribal stuff intact, but it looked like very modern African tribal like stuff going on.
Almost didn't recognise bloody hell, him from Star Wars. He appears to be playing the same character. Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker is back as Forrest Whitaker
in
tribal makeup at this time. But even the mercenary with the Triceratops kind of mask
Killmonger
that he wears, is that Killmonger? Is that who it is?
Eric Killmonger.
Fantastic name.
No.
But yeah, it just looks really, really good. The dude from Creed is there because it's the director from Creed.
Johnny Storm.
For anyone that doesn't know. Also Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
Glad to see he's getting out of that, from under that particular superhero thing.
That's the second.
Because he deserves to be something
former
better.
Johnny Storm in a Marvel movie.
Who gets rebooted into something better, hopefully. Overall, I just think it looks like a really good... I like the narrative that runs through it. My favourite quote... it's pretty soon it's going to be conquerors and conquered.
Yeah.
I just like the whole narrative that they're building up. They're really sticking with the fact that he's royalty. I think it's going to play a big role in it. And oddly enough, one of the things I really love about Black Panther is that he still has his accent.
Yeah, well, that's one of the best things because as you know, I'm famous for my Black Panther impersonation.
Would you like to let the viewers hear it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I really wish I just prepared an audio clip of Black Panther that I could just.
Oh, but you do have a famous Black Panther impression.
Hold on.
At all the parties.
Hold on. No, I'm going into Rick.
Wakanda!
I'm the king. No, I'm not doing. Hold on. Yeah, so it's going to lead me into. I'm going to get lots of new material for my world famous Black Panther impersonation.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really good. One thing I thought was a little odd. You know the exploding car bit where he leaps off the exploding car?
His little flip.
Lands on another car. I wasn't that impressed by that because that's how we met Black Panther.
Flipping over cars,
chasing people. You know what I mean? I thought that my first reaction when I saw that part of the trailer was, haven't we seen that?
Yeah, I think it's just a reaffirming prowess move where it's like Black Panther's a bit good at this.
Yeah.
And you just want to make sure that everyone remembers that he's kind of quite formidable in his own way. Because he is within like the actual comics. He's incredibly. He's one of the 9 most intelligent men on the planet.
Yeah, like the 9th
and then
most intelligent.
He's got some serious athletic prowess. Like he can take down Captain America whenever he wants.
Yeah,
usually
beating up Wolverine, Spider-Man.
He usually just gets to work.
I like where they're going. Between this and Spider-Man, it looks like.
I think they're going to take a lot from the Ta-Nehisi Coates Brian Stealth Freeze run, which is the new one, and it looks to be sticking quite closely to that because Ta-Nehisi Coates kind of brought it back and completely took Black Panther out of America and put him back in Wakanda and focused a lot more on his responsibility as king being juxtaposed with his kind of want to be part of the bigger world and how his people actually struggle with that because they want their king and they don't really want him to leave all the time.
Be going off doing superheroics.
For the Avengers.
I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
Huh? That was pretty good. I'll do it.
Definitely going to get a letter about that.
No, it's fine. It's a fake country. It can't be racist in a fake country.
Absolutely can.
It can't.
It's a fake country in Africa.
But my accent is as fake as the guy who's doing it. He's American, isn't he?
Is he?
He's definitely not African. Well, he's African American, but he's not African. Isn't he?
Are we sure?
Yeah, that's not his real accent.
Makes retractions.
No, there's not. There will be no
Makes
retraction.
retractions.
That his accent is as fake as my accent.
Mix apology for cultural appropriation.
No, it didn't.
Mix apology for cultural appropriation.
And on that segue, speaking of cultural appropriation, is the mummy in our purview?
Yeah, it's supernatural based. It was formative for me.
Lots of mythology.
Formative for me. I'm going to miss Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
I like Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
I think Tom Cruise is going to be a bit Tom Cruisey for me.
Yeah, well, it's already out. Apparently, it's not very good.
Oh, right. I wasn't really Look, I wasn't intending to see The Mummy. I'm going to be honest. It didn't move me when I saw it. I thought the woman playing the mummy this time is very attractive looking.
Very attractive lady.
But they kind of focused very heavily on that in the trailer, so I think I was supposed to think that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's moments of her doing a little shimmy in the trailer. she's doing a shimmy and a shake. And
trying to lure you.
I just, you know what, I've seen Tom Cruise be Tom Cruise in so many movies lately. Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible 5? Was it
8,
9? 20? So now what I'm basically going to see is Jack Reacher in the case of the missing mummy in Mission Impossible 6.
Do you think he's going to defeat the mummy in a bar fight?
I think there's going to be 6 mummies.
Okay.
Tom Cruise and a pool cue.
Oh.
There's going to be a sly nod to his days in American Hustle. Not American Hustle. What was that? The famous one?
Easy Living.
No, the one Paul Newman was in.
Easy.
Colour of Money. Colour of Money was that movie. And I think it's going to be a throwback to that. It's going to be a little wink, and he's going to take out 6 mummies with a pool cue and say, I warned you to get messy. He's going to do that, and it's going to be like, could I care less? That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what's going to happen.
So, okay, speaking of things we could care less about, Transformers.
Anthony Hopkins is in it.
I know.
What's that about?
He's Odin.
What?
No, he's Odin in Thor.
Oh, sorry. I thought he was Odin in Transformers. I was like, how are we going to mix this? What?
I'm linking everything
Odin's
back
going to feature in.
mythology.
Okay, yeah. Odin is Thor's father.
Oh! I completely forgot.
Oh.
Batman's dead.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so...
Are we doing jokes about
I'm
that?
not going to do a joke about it, but Adam West passed away at 88.
Well, 88's a good run.
88's a good... No, look, nobody's knocking him for the run. The run was pretty solid, and he's been fairly prolific in the last 10... There's a great documentary, by the way, about him and his life.
The early days of Batman?
Netflix. No, it actually focuses more on his family's attempt to get him a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Is that worth watching?
It's absolutely worth watching. We'll link it below. But yeah, it just seemed like a really interesting man who struggled with a lot and then kind of came out the other side. Because he was a laughingstock through it was the 80s and early 90s, but then came back.
And then he did a lot of voice acting work.
Did a lot of voice acting work. Sure, he did. They just wrapped up the Batman 66 animated movie.
Yeah.
Which was a little throwback to all that. Anyway, Adam West, star of the 60s Batman show, passed away this week after a brief battle with leukemia.
First Batman to go?
First Batman to go, yeah.
Unfortunately.
First one to go. Well, Val Kilmer let himself go. Yeah, he's the first one to pass away, unfortunately.
Yeah. Why couldn't it have been Clooney?
Why? Yeah, well, that was... George, look, you've said it yourself.
What?
You didn't give us the best Batman. Yeah. You've admitted that. And admittedly, we probably shouldn't wish you to be dead.
No, that's probably a bit much.
But what we're saying is, we're not saying we want you dead. We're just saying we'd swap you for West. Is what we're saying.
I think that's worse.
It's absolutely worse.
Yeah, so back to Odin. Transformers, who cares? They can go suck a lemon.
Mark Wahlberg's back being Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, Mark Wahlberg.
You have a Transformer? Is that a Transformer? Why have you got a Transformer?
Gotta stop these Transformers. They're everywhere.
Anthony Hopkins. Sir Anthony Hopkins.
In the car.
Get out of here, Anthony Hopkins.
Anyway, we're in a room almost entirely full of Transformers.
Mick loves Transformers.
I can't believe
in fact, in the future we may do a Transformers episode where I try to understand why in God's name he likes Transformers.
Transformers are amazing. But you see, this is the thing. Your contact with Transformers is these movies, right?
Marky Mark.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
And just do it! Shia LaBeouf.
So
Fox. Formative.
No, you see, I was already formed by the time Megan Fox got around.
formative.
I'm not saying she's not a very attractive lady.
She is a very
attractive lady with very peculiar thumbs.
Never really.
Have you never seen Megan Fox's thumbs?
Are they bizarre?
Have you never been on the internet?
Are they stubby?
They look
She's
like
got stubby thumbs.
They look like big toes.
Megan's stubby thumbs Fox.
Yeah, look, this is not new information. Anyway, look,
It's me.
Transformers. The movies are shit. We'll talk about good Transformers another
Someday.
day. Yeah. But let's talk about other things with Odin in it.
Oh.
Ah?
Like what, Mick?
Seamless segue.
Seamless segue.
Like American Gods.
Yes, American Gods. So we've touched on American Gods before, and we think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just an absolutely brilliant thing. The Star Show is very, very good.
Yeah, very good. Very bloody.
Very, very bloody good. And I didn't think it would be. I remember seeing the stills for it, and I was kind of like, oh, that's very
Yeah,
good.
I had my doubts.
Very gaudy. But they actually used that as a running theme of the show to show the spiritual degradation of America.
Yeah.
And they used it as a running theme.
And, I think it's a clever idea what they've done. They've obviously, because we're 2 episodes from the end, they've obviously not decided to adapt the book into a series. They've taken the book as the universe. And
they're just playing around
They're
with
playing around with it. Obviously, it's still making the same kind of big sweeps towards the same ending, presumably. They're not making a literal adaptation. They're not doing a Zack Snyder Watchmen sort of thing.
Not possible with American Gods. American Gods is a huge scoping novel. By the way, I don't know if we ever mentioned where it comes from. Have we mentioned where it comes from?
I don't think so.
British comic writing superstar of the 90s. Savant, yeah, definitely. Reshaped most of the genre with regards to independent comics. Neil Gaiman actually wrote the book in 2000 and... Stop that. He's a brilliant writer.
Yeah, I know.
Wrote the book back in 2001? Yeah, I'm going to say 2001.
Nebula Award winner?
That it is a Nebula Award winner.
And the other one?
The Hugo Award?
Yeah, nicely done.
The Hugo Award?
Yeah, nicely done.
Yeah. I'm just glad I was able to keep up. I'm just going to sit here content now for the rest of the podcast. I'm not opening my mouth. I got nerd points from Mick.
Speaking of, I read some fables. I read the first...
Oh, you went through again?
Yeah,
you kept taking a peek?
I got the first 3 trades.
First 3?
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's pretty good.
It is.
Very Sandman.
Very Sandman. It is very
Speaking
Sandman.
of Neil Gaiman.
We'll link it below.
Yeah. Especially the first arc. It feels like an early Sandman story. In a good way.
No. Look, Neil Gaiman's work on Sandman irrevocably shaped comics.
Irrevocably?
Irrevocably? That's not a word.
It is.
Irrevocably.
No, it's irrevocably. Remember the architect? Vis-a-vis... concordantly.
Get out of here. Get out of here with you. The architect, do not bring Matrix 2 and 3 into this room. It's a small room. It's got no space for that shit.
We have no space. It's Transformers or the Matrix.
I'm not having both. I'm not having 2 shitty sci-fi franchises. No, sorry, movie franchises.
Okay,
I'm not having it.
Where were we? I completely lost track of what
Sorry, yeah, American Gods, really enjoying it.
Yes.
Does an amazing job of just adapting mythology to modern things.
And an interesting thing, speaking of adaptation, they really have adapted it. So for people who haven't read the book, you have these representations of modern society and culture as gods.
Yeah.
And they're fighting a war with the old gods. Well, they seem to be trying to get the old gods to toe the line with the new gods.
Yeah, so there are 2 camps. There's the original pantheons of various cultures, and then there's, I suppose, what America is now giving all its time and energy to with stuff like media and
exactly right.
That kind of thing.
So you have media, you have Mr. World, and you have technology boy,
internet boy.
The interesting thing about him is, right, if you've seen a few episodes in, he's a little bit subservient to media, who represents TV and radio. And, her kind of thing is that every time someone is watching TV and ignoring the person beside them, that's a prayer to her.
It's worship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mr. World represents our kind of collective fear of big government and of shadowy men in black.
Conspiracy.
And the Illuminati.
Mick just did a triangle and stuck his eye through it, and I'm actually. That'll be the end of the podcast, guys. It was really good 7.5 episodes. I've been Ben Colopy. I'll see you later.
Ben hates the Illuminati.
I just hate that shit. The world is not a big, dark, and evil place.
Well, you see, you wouldn't be contributing to the worship of Mr. World, then, would you?
He'd probably be quite pissed at me.
But so in the original book, Internet Boy, Technical Boy, he dressed, and since you have already brought this up, he dressed like a character from The Matrix.
He did, I forgot that.
And he was kind of a big, kind of chubby guy, and he was a kind of parents' basement dweller.
A neckbeard
In the Matrix gear. He was a hacker stereotype, and he was the least powerful of the new gods. Because in 2001, the internet was kind of a new thing.
Early days.
Right?
Early days.
And this is a weird kind of thing, because in the show, the TV show, Technical Boy is a little bit subservient to media and Mr. World.
This is interesting.
Where, really, if Neil Gaiman had written the show...
If we were reshaping this...
Right.
Rewrite.
He would probably be the leader.
The boss, definitely.
Yeah. And it would be media who feared him a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
media would probably belong with old gods at this point. Probably be
getting
on the other
towards
side.
that, right? So,
oh my god, are we writing a sequel to American Gods? media is on the side of Mr. Wednesday. Neil, don't take this from us.
It wouldn't even be a sequel. It would be. It shows you how much culture has changed in just 15 years.
There's been a complete shift. Yeah.
But even Technical Boy, he's much cooler in the new one. He's a bit of a hipster.
He's vaping.
He's vaping away. He's blowing kisses at people and making them get lynched and stuff. And,
I forgot about the lynching.
It's a whole different thing. But so they've what I kind of like, but it's also kind of negative, is that they've reimagined the character, but they haven't reimagined his role.
Yeah.
So he's a much cooler, trendier, more up-to-date character, but he still plays the role of the
subservient to old media,
slightly weaker god, which is a bit of a contradiction.
It's interesting. Yeah, I guess it's kind of I just think it's a fascinating thing, but it does shine a light on a lot of stuff in our culture. I don't know. I think that's why the book. I love the book, but I possibly argue that it's my favorite book.
Oh. Mine is June.
If for those of you that can't actually see,
everyone,
Mick is wearing a June t-shirt.
I am actually.
Muad Dib 2016. The spice must flow.
Spice must flow.
Sorry, I haven't seen the movie. I know nothing of June.
What?
I know nothing of June.
Oh.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
You know nothing of Arrakis?
Arrakis, or
Desert Planet, the spice.
I know nothing of Arrakis antics.
Okay, well that's a future podcast there.
We can toss it in with other things Ben doesn't care about, like Transformers and June.
June, actually, one of my other interests, which is Warhammer 40,000.
This week on the podcast.
Very heavily influenced by June. Anyway, sorry, what were you saying about affecting our culture?
No, I just think the book itself actually looks at where we've shifted our attention as a culture. We've moved away from old stories with ritual and things like that, and moved towards entertainment and distraction more than anything else. And I think it does a really good job of representing that. Obviously, it's a little bit silly. Everything's very anthropomorphic and it's very, very nerdy. But sure, that's what we do here. So can't take that away. I quite like it. But I just think it's really fascinating. So, not gonna lie, we knew we were going to talk about this.
This whole thing, it was a series of segues.
Which you did very well, and I stepped on several times.
Yeah.
And I do apologise.
Ben does not read a segue hint well.
I'm socially deaf. I don't. I actually really struggle with social cues. I like reading though, which is what I did for this week's podcast, because it's not people. And as long as it's not people, I'm in. So yeah, I actually looked at that, and that kind of distance between us and mythology or old mythology shapes quite a few narratives. Because I don't know if you've noticed, Michael, but there's quite a few god-based things popping up.
Yeah.
Thor has a huge amount of popularity. All of his characters, co-characters, are Asgardian based from Norse mythology. It's wonderful. And the reason for that is that many people argue it's because we've become very secular as a society.
Oh Jesus, have we?
Have we? Yeah, we've turned from the Lord, and it won't do.
Your lord.
Your lord. He's not my lord. So we've turned from all that, and it's kind of interesting because it's led to what has been argued as a kind of a crisis of meaning.
Okay.
So, there are two people I'm going to mention. First one I'm going to mention is former nun Karen Armstrong.
I have no idea.
Karen Armstrong is a professor who studies narratology and mythology.
Is narratology a word?
Narratology is the study of stories and storytelling within academia, usually. Narratology. And she studies all this, and she actually wrote a wonderful book called A Short History of Myth in the mid-90s. And it was an introduction to a series of books retold by modern authors like Margaret Atwood and things like that. And it's a wonderful look at the history of mythology and where our love of mythology kind of severed, where we moved past that. And what she looks at then, so that would have happened around the age of the Enlightenment. For those of you that don't know about all that kind of thing, there was an 18th century movement called the Enlightenment, where people wanted more focus on critical thinking. Religion was kind of slowly pushed away in favour of rationality and that kind of thing. It's why we think of history in terms of science and things like that now, as opposed to mythology, which is a story, a big story. But her argument is that a myth is simply an event that happened once in the past and then recurs. So what she looks at is far more the reason that we use a myth than the myth itself. Do you understand?
So she's saying that it's based in reality?
No, she's not arguing that it's based in reality at all. What she's arguing is that in the past, people were not so much interested in the exact date or anything like that. They were far more interested in the why of an event. So the meaning, the broader meaning of something like that.
That's probably because they didn't have to take state exams.
Where you have to memorise something and... Oh God, I'm getting flashbacks. Eist to nish could do the screwed pauper. Fragger cashed A. Yeah, no, I'm not.
1016.
I can't go back. 1066. Oh, 1066. Yeah, no, it was nothing like that. But she comes back to myth and ritual being locked together. And the reason we had myth and I'm gesticulating while Mick is just watching
take a robot out any second now. Those babies down.
And the reason we had ritual and myth is that it gave meaning or purpose to the things that we did.
Okay.
Nowadays, we don't have that.
Right.
We go about everything that we do, and we never think of the significance of the meaning or anything like that. And what it does is it leaves a little bit of a void.
To quote Skyrim.
Please do.
Yeah, the Dwemer, who were the dwarfs in Skyrim.
Thank you.
They scorned the old gods for their new gods of reason and logic.
And that's what we've done.
Yeah, that's off the cuff.
That's off the cuff.
I just remembered that off the cuff.
If you'd like to send roses to Mick for his stirring performance as Skyrim...
Ben has no idea what Skyrim is.
I don't play video games. Sorry. But so and then you have this gap. So now you have this want of mythology, if you want. People are looking for meaning, and they can't really find it because we've lost that connection. We now focus on the how and function and things like that, and we've lost the why. So this was touched on a little bit more. You can actually do a really interesting comparison between the success of superhero movies in America and Western countries, and then you can look at a far more successful industry a little bit further away in India, Bollywood.
The Fast and the Furious.
No, not that franchise. Not that franchise. No.
Sorry.
No. One day we'll do it. We'll stick it in with the Transformers podcast. It's all right. We'll cover the whole 8 episodes. I think we should at some point. But if you look at Bollywood, Bollywood stories are always family based. They're usually wealth based. People lose money, they get money. People don't have money, they get money.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Slumdog Millionaire would be an interesting homage to that. But they don't have many superhero narratives.
They'll give one a go every now and then.
They'll give one a go every now and then, but they don't usually do as well as their family dramas or their comedies or something like that.
Interesting.
And there has been a theory applied to this as well. In the 19th century, there was a German sociologist called Max Weber, and he came up with what he called the theory of disenchantment. It ties in very closely to Karen Armstrong. And the theory of disenchantment is very simple. The more secular you become as a society, the more hollow your meanings for things become. And it leads to not a depression, but an ennui or a melancholy.
Oh,
okay.
big words.
I know, we're cracking them out now, man. And this was actually looked at in an article in The Atlantic where, basically, because countries like India are still quite religious and still pay quite a lot of attention to ritual, they don't feel this need for the fantastic or this need for belief in the same way that Western audiences do.
Is this why we love superheroes, or is this why we love mythology blending into superheroes?
Well, Mick, that depends on how you view superheroes. Superheroes could be looked upon.
Oh, this is like cash for questions.
As it is. It is. As a modern incarnation of mythology. But we don't even have to focus on superheroes. You can just look at the amount of reincarnated gods that are coming up in mythologies. There's mentions all over the place. American gods is the biggest example, most glaring example that we can see at the moment.
Supernatural.
Supernatural features them
Thor.
all the time. Thor is another good example.
The awful movie Gods of Egypt.
Oh, Gods of Egypt. Jared Butler, just give over.
The almost as bad Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans.
The almost as bad The Immortals.
Oh, was that the 300 spin-off?
No, with the Greek gods. Remember where everyone was in fast motion and then they killed the Titans, and when they chopped their heads off, the heads fell in slow motion?
Oh, I don't like that.
No, it's real good.
Is it good?
No, it's terrible.
No.
But, I mean, visually it's interesting.
Visually it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can look at this.
Xena.
Xena popped up. Hercules.
Young Hercules with Ryan Gosling.
Was there young Hercules with Ryan Gosling?
Yeah.
Was Big Daddy Gosling what?
He was young Hercules.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
That's your week.
Wow. But yeah.
Oh, it's terrible.
So but some of these were quite popular.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason, like Xena was very popular.
Wonder Woman
features it quite heavily. There's a whole utopian Alexandrian myth running at the start of that, where Zeus created. That has wide-reaching implications for the DC universe, by the way.
Yeah, we will talk about that another time.
Yeah, but it occurred to me. I was like, hang on, did they just
gods are real?
Gods are real, and they made humans. Yeah, so that has wide-reaching implications. Kal-El is the only one who's not. Anyway. That is the theory of disenchantment, and that is the reason that we have so many new narratives featuring gods popping up. But I just found it really interesting. I was quite interested in why it was. So that kind of works quite well.
It leads me to thinking. When I was a teen, right, I've always been into American comics. I always wanted someone to do a Thor for an Irish character.
They've never done that.
Isn't that interesting?
They've never gone near it.
I mean, some Irish independent writers have done a Cuchulainn stuff, or... Go on.
Slane, yeah?
Well, Slane.
Slane, sorry.
Slane.
Oops.
But Slane from 2000 AD Slane. Slane was set in Ye Olde Ireland.
Oh, Ye Olde Ireland.
Yeah, it wasn't... What would it be like if Slane lived now and did kind of generic superheroic things?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So I always thought, wouldn't it be cool if Thor teamed up with Cuchulainn? Because Cuchulainn, as much as Thor is adaptable to being a superhero,
and they do adapt. They play fast and loose with a lot of that mythology.
Big time.
Thor is a redhead, by the way.
Well, Thor's not real, Ben.
No, but within the Edda, which is the official kind of version that's
who sticks the official stamp on that?
Norse scholars who studied it for their entire lives.
Okay,
so I defer to them.
Close enough.
He's a redhead. He's not red in the movies.
No,
he hasn't even got long hair in Ragnarok, by the looks of things.
I'm thinking maybe costume. Because I've got the beard now and the hair, so a bit small though. Stupid giant Chris Hemsworth.
He's very big.
He's much bigger than me.
He's a very big man.
I'm not a small man.
You're not a small man,
but I'm nowhere near bloody Chris Hemsworth.
He's a very big man.
Or Moon Knight. Oh, there's another mythology. Everything's just coming around.
God's granting powers are a thing as well. You know.
What was I saying? Yes. So,
sorry.
Yeah, like Thor is not the Thor of myth.
No, not even close.
He's a superhero based on the Thor of myth. And I always thought, why didn't we do that for Ireland? And now that you've said this thing, Ireland until quite recently, still is, possibly quite religious.
Very Catholic.
I mean, I think if an Irish, let's not even say comic book writer, because the comic book writer would be speaking to people like us who would appreciate it. But if a small Irish studio decided to make a modern retelling of Cuchulainn as a superhero, exactly, people would make that face. It would be roundly criticised.
It makes me very uncomfortable.
Why does that make you uncomfortable, but you're fine with Thor?
Just seems silly.
I know.
Just seems silly.
Why does that seem silly, but Thor is fine?
Good point. I have no answer to that. I don't have a witty retort.
I know. I'd love a tort. No, tart. I was thinking of tart.
You were thinking of tart. You're always mixing torts and tarts.
Or even, look at the other superheroes. The other gods who've been adapted into superheroes. Hercules is pretty popular.
Is consistent.
Ares pops up.
Ares pops up everywhere. Hades.
He's generally pops up a few times. But why never the Irish ones?
Because we sound very silly.
But why?
Because you couldn't take a god seriously. I'm going to take over the world, I am.
Well, there is an Irish god in American Gods.
He's not a god.
Per se.
Well,
that's the other thing about Irish mythology. We didn't really have gods.
What we did once upon a... Look, this isn't interesting, so I'm not going to go into it. We did at one point have gods, but they were reduced. We had the Tuatha Danann, and
but even when they were
more of a different race. Yeah, I know. We had a previous race.
You're always bringing race into this.
I'm a very race-based individual. For those that can't see me, I am the whitest man in any room, and it makes me awfully nervous. Yeah, fair enough. We've never had gods in the same way.
Gods,
no creation myth in the same way.
I mean, Irish creation myth tends to just go back, and then before them there were some other people.
Yeah, we just keep going back. Yeah,
there were the Bag people.
Fear Bullock.
Yeah, then there was the people before them who might have gone to Greece.
Oh yeah, so apparently we're responsible for that too. You're welcome.
It's a big whole mess.
Yeah.
So where are we for time? Oh, we're
right on up there. We're moving on up.
So I was thinking, in another episode, we might take a look at some gods who have been adapted multiple times and take a look at good and bad adaptions of them.
And why it hasn't been happening for us.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Because I know one thing that does adapt, there are a couple of things that adapt Irish characters. The two that stick out most for me are Supernatural and the thing with the guy with the big fist.
Hellboy, who I love.
They both kind of...
Yeah, no, Hellboy leans heavily on Irish myth. And one of the main antagonists in that is Irish.
Also, we should probably take a look at some mythological comic book work from Irish writers and artists.
There's nothing massively spectacular.
Nothing that, it may well be spectacular, it's just not particularly well known.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe if a mildly popular podcast was to...
Mildly is being generous. A podcast was to look at it. Maybe if a podcast was to look at it, it might do something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up there for the week.
All right. Basically, any recommendations for the week, Michael?
Well, watch American Gods.
Watch American Gods. Keep up with it.
Yeah.
Is it? By the way, is that our podcast sanctioned 8 episodes?
Are we done now?
Is it an 8-episode run? Is that it?
Oh, we're done. The scientifically determined perfect number.
We're over the bricks. I actually meant it in reference to American Gods, but
read the book.
It is to be 8 episodes. Read the book. Absolutely, give it a whirl. And if it's very strange, it's okay. Neil Gaiman intended it to be that way.
Yeah,
he often says that. So it's fine. You can read it and feel weirded out.
Read the book.
Okay.
Watch the show. If you have any adaptations of gods or
send them
mythology
in.
that you'd like,
please do. If you know any decent Irish adaptations, send them in,
because we'd like to see that. You can contact us on Twitter. We're at Mick and Ben. You can find us on Instagram on Michael and Benjamin's podcast, and you can find us on YouTube.
I should know you can find Mick on all these things.
Ben
I just don't like people. We covered it this week. I'll probably be reading a book. somewhere.
Okay, if you're watching this on the YouTube version, leave a comment down below on any gods. If you're an Indian person watching this, tell us.
Please let us know
what you think about it.
Is there an Indian Avengers?
Avengers?
I wasn't going to go there. Such a down note to finish on. Quickly,
Bye!
Play the Wonder Woman music again. make it all stop.